You're listening to Hey Pal, What's New with JohnAlex and Greg. Hey Pal, What's New is a product of Sack of Sin Entertainment. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and all other social media platforms. Hey Pal, What's New can be found on Spotify, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and all other podcast locations. Or check us out at sackofsin.com or heypalwhatsnew.com. Warning, Hey Pal, What's New contains explicit content. JohnAlex and Greg are a pair of vulgar Gen Xers. If you are easily offended, please stop listening and go download a nice tame podcast like
The Multiverse Fancast.
You have been warned.
Black Santa.
Black Santa is sweeping the nation. Every year my brother sings a fucking carol. It's really funny.
Your brother sings a carol?
Yeah, he sure does. Look, everybody, we're here and it's Saturday night and it's Hey Pal, What's New? I'm Greg
right.
and that's JohnAlex over there. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
That's right. You could watch my balls drop.
That's right, as my brother would say.
Tushy, say hello to the friends you know and everyone you meet.
Sing it, Kip.
Oh, the mistletoe is hung where you can see. Somebody wait for you, kiss her once for me.
No.
The best part is, you know what's crazy? He's not even drunk.
No, he's sober as a judge, man. But yeah.
Wow, most judges aren't sober.
Yeah. Well, he did it. Well, we'll get into the whole, it's Saturday night. We decided to do an early one because, who wants to do one on New Year's Eve?
We had to skip one last week because we thought, my wife was like, what the fuck were you thinking you'd be able to do a podcast while you're shitting your brains out prepping for a colonoscopy? I didn't leave the toilet.
Yeah, we'll definitely get. Let's get into that then, since we haven't really caught up. What's new with you there, Andy Cap?
I had a camera in my bunghole.
I know.
I didn't even get paid for it. I had to pay for it.
I got a picture of it too. Thanks. I was gonna put it as my screensaver.
Oh, I sent out pictures to everybody. There's someone I work with. It's like, wait, you have pics? And I was like, yeah. She goes, can I see them?
Yeah.
I was like, sure. I sent them to her. She's like, oh.
Too bad you didn't have time. You could have sent them out as a Christmas card.
A digital Christmas card.
Merry Christmas, you assholes.
I mean, who cares about... I had the surgery on my other hand. Who cares about that? It's all about the camera in my ass.
Yeah.
It was just...
Yeah, black rain. I know you
Not
were...
even black. It was green. I found out it's green because, like, your intestine is filled with bile.
Oof.
Like, when you're throwing up and it just starts coming up with, like, green slime? That's the same shit that was coming out of my ass.
I mean, it's got to be a horrible experience, but at the same time, like we were saying, it must feel so good the next day to be, like, empty.
Yes.
Like, it was like, there is nothing in my fucking intestines right now. You would just clean my asshole out, And yeah, you were keeping me up to date on the things.
The doctor, too, was just like, so, you're going to get, this medicine and it's going to make you feel sleepy and you're going to go to sleep. He's like, so everything be okay? You have any questions? You know what to expect, right? And I go, I have no fucking clue, dude. He goes, what? He goes, they didn't explain any of this to you? I go, no. I was like, nobody's explained anything. He's like, oh. He goes, so I'll be putting a camera and blah, blah, blah. And he tells me everything. I was like, okay. And then next thing you know, it's like, all right. And I was out. And then next thing you know, it's like, so everything went well. We didn't find any polyps, but we did. And he starts talking to you. You're like, dude, I'm just coming out of anesthesia. And you're trying to explain to me that you found like a growth in my intestine.
Yeah.
They don't know what it is, but he's like, I don't want to cut anything.
Yeah.
Normally they find stuff they if they have to they remove it, but he's like, with not knowing exactly the nature of what we found, he's like, I don't want to have to cut something out if it's nothing, where you're going to risk infection and perforation of your intestines and stuff like that.
That's true. If you're cutting something up that deep in your asshole, and it's going to bound to be infected, a little turd's going to go by and just, get that little freaking septic.
Little turd dirt in there.
Yeah, you don't want any turd dirt.
Hey, turd.
Hey there, turd.
Anyway.
But yeah, so yeah, you were keeping me up to date when you were on the toilet. I mean, it would have been funny if you were just, but you would have never have left the bowl.
Every time I got up and went into the living room, I was like, okay, I'm good. And I went to go to the living room, like, I'll be right back.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's got to
Played
be.
a lot of Candy Crush.
That's right. Freaking, that's, I should have sent you a Tushy.
Oh.
That would have been delightful.
Well, that's the other problem is after that I had the surgery, and it's my right hand. So you as a left-handed person, have you ever tried to wipe your ass with your right hand?
I actually do wipe my ass with my right hand.
Oh, I try. My left hand, it's just like so awkward. And I'm like, motherfucker. I felt like getting one of those fat guy sticks, the stick where you like put the toilet paper on the end and you just go in there and just like wipe.
I'm telling you, man, Tushy, man, you put that spray on. I mean, one wipe, Charlie. That's all it is. You're just basically drying your asshole. Is what it is, because they fucking power wash that thing. Oh, I was so sad because when I was away for a couple days, for Christmas, and I had to take a shit, and I was like, I gotta fucking wipe my ass like a savage. This sucks.
Well, the woman who asked me for the picture of my for my colonoscopy, she's like, oh, she raves about her bidet, her Tushy. She goes,
Yeah.
I'm getting one of those portable ones that you attach to the toilet and hook into the thing. She goes, because we're going away for like a week.
Yeah.
She goes, and I can't be away without my freaking Tushy.
You do get, like, when I went on that cruise for a week, I had to take dumps, and I'm like, this sucks.
You
Like,
forgot how to wipe your ass.
Well, you do, but you're just like, dude, you're wiping your ass for a fucking half hour. You're like, you got to wipe, obviously, until Brown leaves town. And you're like, what the fuck? It's not going away.
Justin wants me to show the pic.
Yeah, see, my girl says it.
Me showing a picture of my bunghole never goes well.
Show that pic.
How about this, Justin? I'll pull down my pants, put my ass up to the camera, and you could take a look for yourself.
Yeah, we'll put it on the Patreon since you're a lovely patron. You can get it just for yourself.
Oh, Justin says he's ambi-wiperous.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, see,
I can only do right-handed.
Fun fact for your knapsack, it's ours. I only write with my left hand. Everything else I do, I write with my left hand. That's right. And everything else I do is right-handed.
Even playing guitar.
Playing guitar, throwing a ball, wiping my ass.
Yeah. Well, then comes the great debate of the people, like the one that's where everybody is. Do you sit down? Like, do you wipe reaching in from the front or around the back? And I was like, I know someone who wipes around the back and stands when they do it. And they're like, seriously? I was like, yep.
Who's that?
You.
Oh, yeah.
I remember the story of when you guys were on tour and you were in like that public bathroom, you're all taking a shit.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like, your head pops up. Everybody's like, Greg, what are you doing? You're like, I'm wiping my ass. They're like, why are you standing?
Well, because when you're a rotund gentleman like myself, so you could do, like, when I was a lot thinner, you could do the one cheek sneak. That's what I usually used to do, the one cheek sneaking around. But it's just easier to stand. But then it's like a Rorschach painting. You got to it gets all squished together. And
The big question is, do people reach in from the front or reach around through the back?
well, I think you would want to wipe from front to back, even though you're a dude, because, having daughters, I know that you don't sweep dirt in the house, right? So you got to do front to back. For guys, I mean, if you're wiping back to front, it's going right to your fucking taint, your balls. Like, wouldn't you? I don't know. Yeah, but I used to stand and do it because I wanted to see the accomplishment too. I wanted to see
scatological conversation. I gotta check the window. That's how I know I'm done. There's none of the toilet paper. That's when you grab the dude wipes.
Oh yeah,
and clean everything up with the dude wipe. When you're done.
I was a big fan of the dude wipes, but yeah, the Tushy is. Oh man, we should get them as a sponsor just because. God damn, I love that damn thing. I think it said that I'm 42 and I can already tell I won't be able to wipe my own ass properly in about 10 years.
That's right.
Yo, preach to the choir there, Tolly. I mean, but yeah, all I do is just fucking dry it and off you go.
I hate you.
It's good. And it's not expensive, dude.
I know.
You could fucking afterpay that shit.
It's like, have to pay everything.
I think I zezzled that shit. It was like $25 for every 2 weeks. It was great. Because I wanted the fancy one where you could actually do the warm water, which is,
My toilet's too far away from the warm water supply.
So you'd have to do straight up cold, which is not bad. I mean, it's a nice wake up call for your asshole. You're like, ooh, it's chilly.
God damn.
Yeah, but other than that, so your Christmas was okay. You just kind of chill.
Christmas.
Yeah,
we were here. I told you before. It's the first Christmas I didn't actually get to see my mother.
I know. That's a bummer. Did
you
FaceTime?
No.
You didn't even FaceTime.
I called her on Christmas Eve because we usually spend Christmas Eve with my mom.
Yeah.
I called her on Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day was just so fucking crazy because it was like we get up, the kids are all opening their presents. My wife did this thing where she wrapped like a whole shitload of their presents in like plain brown paper,
Mm-hmm.
and then put like butcher string around it, and then used a wax seal and wax sealed their initials on their presents.
Oh my God.
On the like, that's how she held the
rope
butcher,
there. Yeah,
the butcher twine or whatever it was.
yeah.
That she used. That's how she held it together. Was you put heat the wax, melt it on there, and then boom, M's for Mila, E's for Emmanuel, X's for Xander, and A's for Anastasia.
She's been hanging out with Laura way too much.
No, she's been spending too much fucking time on TikTok. That's what it is.
Yes, she is the TikTok queen.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
I
That's
told
like
her, I was like, when you gotta send me, you don't have to send it to the Hey Pal What's New one.
I know. I go in there. It's like 42 fucking TikToks from Kate. You're like,
that's where
should I
she
look
sent-
at these or not?
That's where she sent the story about the fucking lady at McDonald's.
Oh yeah, which we'll get into that. It's not really newsworthy. I mean, it's been around for a couple of years, but we've actually seen photographic evidence.
Ooh.
I think it's still scarred in my brain. Yeah, but Christmas for me, like I said, I usually don't get my girls on Christmas, which sucks. But we always do a Gilroy Christmas. Like it's usually like the week before or the week after. So my brother came down. Christmas Eve and day we had a Jewish Christmas Day. We ate Chinese food, which was slick.
Us too.
Yeah, I loved it. Then Tuesday, my brother came with Cindy and my two daughters came, and then we went down to see my sister down in New Jersey, and then we came back. So, yeah, it was fun filled, man. It's and my Aunt Helen was there. It was good times, man. It was good times. I got tickets. My girl for Christmas got me tickets to see Hot Water Music and Quicksand.
Okay.
Yeah, Brooklyn. So that's
So everybody, my students are all going to see The Descendants.
Are they really?
They're going to the Brooklyn show.
Yeah, see, we bought those. We bought the
Haven.
Toad's Place ones,
That's
thinking
it.
like, all right, that'll be cool. And then same thing happened. Remember when we bought tickets where it was like, oh, I forget the first time we did the Descendants thing. We were like, oh, we booked one, and then it was they ended up releasing the New York City ones, and I was like, actually, Toad's Place. It's cool that we're gonna go see them in a different place.
Yeah, I've seen them in Toad's Place. That was the one you were gonna come and then you couldn't.
Oh yeah.
And then I think I met up with Shagger Dave there.
Yeah, Toad's is a good place to see a show.
Yeah.
It's like it reminds.
outside talking to bass player for like half an hour beforehand.
Yeah, we did that. We were in Philly too with
Yep.
him. Carl, he likes
Carl
to smoke,
just loves
man.
to hang out and just talk with everybody.
He's the coolest, man.
And then everybody's like, "Can I get a picture? Can I get a picture?" And then when we're done chatting, he's like, "You want a picture?" I was like, "I'm just gonna remember this the way it happened, man.
Yeah.
I don't need photographic evidence."
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird, but yeah. So yeah, I got tickets to that. I got we decided to have a comfortable Christmas. So like, Manal got an Eeyore onesie, a big burrito blanket.
Okay.
My brother got a onesie too. It's the fucking funniest thing. It's got all cats all over it. I'll show you a picture of it later. But yeah, we went over there. My brother every year decides to sing holiday carols outside. And it's so funny because he's reading it on the phone. Like, you don't know the words to Jingle Bells. Like,
Jingle bells.
And it's so funny. Like, and he does like the little dance. And like now he has to do it every year. We're like, you have to go out and sing the carols. He's like, all right.
I might have to come down next year for Christmas and sing carols with Garrett.
Oh, yeah.
That's
yeah.
on Christmas Eve he does that, right? Or
No, we did it like Thursday. So it was way after Christmas, which was funny. I was like, the neighbors must be like, what the fuck is going on? Because he's, the way he sings.
they should know from the Gilroy household.
Yeah, he actually, Sloppy Jones, if you look him up on YouTube, he did do a Christmas song video that's up on YouTube that's fucking hysterical.
I'm going to have to check that out.
The Sloppy Jones album that came out, we didn't really hype it up that much because he didn't put it on like Spotify or Apple, or it's just straight up YouTube, his whole album. But if you're into like grind death metal, like it's quite a hoot. It's really good. But the video is hysterical. We'll put it up later. But anyway, I think that's it as far as like what's new. I mean, New Year's, I'm just gonna freaking sit around with the cats and drink tonic water.
I'm going to run to the store tomorrow and get snacks for New Year's.
Yeah.
And me, Kate, and Anastasia and Mila probably will sit around the table playing Settlers of Catan.
There you go.
My wife bought me I have Settlers of Catan, but she bought me another game of it.
Oh, cool.
That's the like 3D version, so it's not like flat pieces. It's actual 3D printed.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fancy.
We like to play that game around here.
Yeah, so now that we've done that, we probably should just go into a little bit of the news.
John, you got any news?
Screeners. Look, we're fucking industry now. We got screeners.
I got this screener.
Pull out the ones that you want to talk about.
Look, I got that screener.
Oh, yeah.
I watched it the other night.
Yeah, somebody's going to watch that this weekend. Yeah.
What? No,
No, I'm kidding. I don't have access to that shit. It's just a piece of cardboard.
oh, wait. I'm supposed to play. Oh, where is it? How did? Oh.
Can I help?
Nope.
No, that one. Oh, wait.
It's on the last page.
Yikes. Oh, rats.
We say goodbye to a couple of Toms.
A couple of times.
Tom Wilkinson,
Yes.
the actor. The fuck was he in?
He was in
Justin sent me this in like today. Gotta love Justin. I don't have to look shit up anymore. Justin just sends it to me.
Yeah. He's a character actor. He's done a bunch of stuff.
He was in the Full Monty.
Yeah, he was in the Full Monty and shit.
He was
What
in
else?
Batman.
Oh,
Begins.
that's right. He was he Falcone? He was like
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Falcone in Batman Begins.
I mean, more importantly, he was in Rush Hour.
I mean, never touch a black man's radio.
No.
You should know that by now.
Also, I don't think. Well, you know what? We got the kind of audience who would know this one. Falcone in Batman and Full Monty. Yeah. Newsflash: John got a pretty butthole. It's true. Fuck. Where was I? Oh, the other person that died, Tommy Smothers of the Smothers Brothers.
Yeah, old Smothers
Mom
brothers.
always liked you best.
That's right.
Mom
I
always
mean,
did
they
like you better.
They were a comedy duo. Now it's just what's his nuts? Not Tom, but Harry. I don't know. Tom Dick.
Dickhead.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just, yeah. He was supposed. I mean, you know, their show brought the Who to America.
Yeah.
So you know.
They kind of started all that. Without that, you wouldn't have like Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. Yeah. It was in the era of variety shows, which I loved.
Rich.
Those old freaking variety shows.
His name was Dick. Richard.
Yeah, Dick.
Tom and Richard.
Dick Smothers.
Tom,
Yeah.
Dick and Harry. You were right. It wasn't even, you were trying to be funny.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they were. I mean,
I'm not saying you weren't funny, Greg. You were funny.
Funny how?
Not like a fucking circus clown.
Nah, yeah, I'm like a fucking clown. I amuse you.
Also, this is a crazy one. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name, the guy from the Parasite movie.
Just sneeze. It'll sound the same.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
I'm sure Justin's going to correct me on this in a second. He's going to give me his name. I just can't pronounce it properly. He actually killed himself.
Oh.
And the only reason I bring it up is... oh, go ahead.
No, I was...
I thought you were going to be like...
How will you explain that?
Oh, you're not, well, I will explain.
Yeah.
I guess, like, in South Korea, when you're a famous, like, artist or especially K-pop artist, but, like, these famous people, first off, any kind of drugs, period, is, like, highly illegal in South Korea. And the story, I guess, was somebody tricked him into doing drugs or slipped him something.
Slipped him a Mickey, as they say.
And then the police were just questioning him over and over multiple times, harassing him, like basically ruining his life. And he's like, he couldn't take it anymore. He's like, fuck it. And he killed himself. But like, this has happened with a lot of K-pop stars because their entire life when they sign that record contract, it's just not a record deal. It's a how you live your life deal.
It's a communist country. I mean, you know, they own your ass.
They're not allowed to date. They're not allowed to, go out drinking, go out in public to like clubs and all. Everything has to be arranged. It's a shame because
it's a shame because Korean horror is like the best horror.
Oh, yeah,
they love their zombie movies and their freaking horror, but yeah, it is. And now here's the thing: if they're a K-pop band and they're popular in Korea or whatever, and then they tour in the U.S., could they freaking do drugs? Really, even if they're over not state lines, but like, you know what I'm saying?
Nope.
Really?
Yeah.
Their
entire life belongs to the record company and really the country.
That sucks.
But the other thing we were talking about that I figured we'd say for the news is because it was news to me. My wife sent me a TikTok.
As she does.
Trying to educate me on the true story of the lady who burned herself on coffee and sued McDonald's.
Yes. Now, we all know that story about the woman that she sued McDonald's because her coffee was too hot. And they settled with like a fucking gazillion dollars or whatever. She made some money on it, but everybody. Now we all remember too that fucking McDonald's
was making a joke.
Yeah, like, oh, you could sue because your coffee's too hot. Coffee's supposed to be hot. Yeah, but if you've ever had McDonald's coffee, it's back in the day. I mean, you're talking. You could dump like 18 gallons of milk in that thing, and it would still be fucking hot. So, the whole story. She was 76 years old, I believe. 76 years young.
She had gotten coffee at McDonald's and asked her grandson or whoever was driving, "Can you just pull into a parking spot so I can put cream and sugar in my coffee?"
Okay.
So she puts it between her, holds it between her knees or her legs there, and she goes to pull the top off. When she does, it spills and burns her on the thighs, and then she panics, and it all dumps out on her, and she wound up with freaking third-degree burns all over her thighs, all over her butt.
We saw the pictures. I was just like, God damn.
And originally she sued McDonald's for $20,000 to cover her medical expenses, and they were like, "Pound sand, bitch."
For 20 grand, they wouldn't do it.
So her lawyer was like, "All right, we're going to court," and sued, and I think won like $166,000 in medical bills, and then they awarded her like $2.7 million in punitive damages.
Which, if you've seen the pictures that we did, oh wow!
And then the judge knocked it down to $680,000.
Okay, that's still.
And then they, instead of filing an appeal, they settled out of court for an unspecified amount.
Oh, that's always fun.
Yeah.
An unspecified amount. Yeah, I mean, now McDonald's coffee, it just gives me diarrhea. I mean, that's about it. I mean, their coffee has gotten considerably better, even their iced coffee. But, man, sometimes you ever get that, like, I always get, because I drink iced coffee even in, like, January. Like, I just drink it black, iced coffee. You get that, you start drinking that coffee, the iced coffee, and you take a sip or two, and you're like, yeah, that's not going to sit well. You immediately know you're going to get the shits.
Oh, yeah.
Badly.
I wake up in the morning, man. I go in the bathroom. I take my first morning dump. I go and I sit and have a cup of coffee. And then there's at least 2 more dumps after that.
Yeah. I mean, that's, that was the old joke when we lived together where we timed our shits perfectly.
That's right.
You used to shit in the morning and I would shit at night. This whole thing is just duty talk all day long.
Poo-poo talk.
Duty talk. 52 years old. I'm still talking about crap.
Yeah, I know his name is Funny Ray.
Funny
Ray.
Fun-E-Roll.
Funny.
Fun-E-Roll. Get it?
Oh,
you son of a bitch.
Christ.
We're sitting there going,
Fuck you, Justin. God, that's why. See, this is why I love Justin.
That's like that old
That he gives a great blowjob.
Yeah, I mean, you put some Kool-Aid on his lips and you just fucking pretend it's, you put the wig on, you do a little prison sex. It's good times. Yeah, it's like that old joke that Barry told me one time. It's so bad. He put it, I think he put it on like Twitter or Facebook or something like that. It was like, remember when Maroon 5 had that song Moves Like Jagger?
Yeah.
He's like, oh God, fucking moves like Jagger. I wish he had the aim like Cobain. The aim like Cobain.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Barry.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. So, yeah, there was not much news going on, only because it's the holiday season, But John saw a freaking... JohnAlex, my boy, saw like 18 gazillion movies. I saw
I'm not
one.
even giving you all the movies I've watched.
No, but these are the highlights, the good ones.
Where do we want to... You want to start with... I'll be brief, though, in the interest of, like, so we'll have like a 3-hour show.
Yeah, but you could touch on some of the good ones.
The Family Plan.
The Family Plan.
With Mark Wahlberg.
It's a fucking baby.
It was on Netflix. It's one of these, like, he's a assassin for the CIA who retired and has, like, a wife and kids and all his shit and is living that domestic lifestyle, and then it gets found out, like, he gets found out and they send a whole team of people after him, like, kind of shit. It's one of those.
Like Spy Kids.
And then he's got to go across the country to meet this guy to get a new identity for him and his wife and kids so they can leave the country, and his wife and kids don't know what the fuck is going on. Yeah. So it's very I say it's like Jason
it's Spy Kids, basically.
Well, it's like Jason Bourne meets National Lampoon's Vacation.
Oh, okay.
Because there's like they're traveling across the country. A lot of funny shit happens. Stupid shit happens. It was a fun movie.
Yeah, you talked about that one scene that reminded me of that Vacation remake, which it's not really a remake; it's a sequel.
Yeah.
It's so fucking funny though.
Don't get your gender fluids on me.
Yeah, it's just like, Dad, how about you give your dad a nice rim job?
Okay.
Because he tells him, Dad, what's a rim job? He's like, well, when you love somebody really, a lot, you care about them, that's what it means. He goes, Dad, can Dad, can you give me a rim job?
Good night, Dad. Can I get a nice rim job?
Yeah.
It was good. I saw Napoleon.
God.
Dude, I didn't even make it all the way through.
Fucking Liger.
It was so boring. And he was just so bitchy and whiny.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to fucking, not Joaquin Phoenix. Who's the one who directed that? Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
People are just like, the guy did Alien, for God's sakes. And now he's just like, and did he do The Martian? Was that him too?
I don't know.
I don't know, but he's been putting on some fucking
He put on Gladiator.
Huh?
He did Gladiator, right?
Did he do Gladiator?
Pretty sure that was a Ridley Scott.
Yeah, I'll give him Gladiator.
Yeah.
Supposedly there's Gladiator 2, Electric Boogaloo, coming out next year.
Well, that's like that old joke. What do you call a Roman soldier with hair between his teeth?
What's that?
A gladiator. Sorry. Yeah, Alien movies, Gladiator, Blade Runner.
I mean, yeah, fucking all the but now it's like he did that King Arthur movie too. That was a fucking flaming bag of turds.
Oh, God.
We don't, like we said, we like to talk what's great, not what we hate. But man, he's put out some stinkers. He did do The Martian. Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
that March. Yes.
And Thelma and Louise too. I didn't know that.
Oh, Thelma.
Oh, Thelma. The first
Fifi. Do you remember that stupid joke?
Oh yeah.
I can't tell it on the air.
Yeah, it would take forever. But yeah, no, that was the first. Was that the first movie with Brad Pitt? That was Thelma and Louise. Every girl started double clicking the mouse when she saw that movie.
Sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's forgivable to rim job.
Yeah.
You know what? I was hoping once my ass was clean, I'd get a rim job, but I didn't.
That's the perfect time to get one. Well, actually, you're probably a little sore, and you're like, my hiney hurts. I don't want.
But then I want a nice kiss on him.
Hey, man, that's why everybody likes a good hiney lick. Anyway,
who doesn't? I missed my sound effect before.
Then the fire crackle.
I know. I don't know what happened to the fire crackle.
That's fine.
Oh, here it is.
Can I have a hot light?
My coffee's hot. I'm going to hell.
That was the one thing just a side note on Christmas. Usually I put on the Darth Vader Mule log. I didn't do it this year.
Oh, the Darth Vader Mule log.
Mule log. It's fucking
Darth Vader's dick.
It's just like,
you're a robot. You won't be needing this anymore.
Talk about burnt. Oh my God, Darth Vader, everybody. All right, so where are we on this list?
The man who was so evil they incinerated him twice.
That's right.
So I also watched that movie Poor Things.
Yeah, a lot of people were talking about this movie going like, I don't know, this looks fucking too weird, but
it was very weird.
But I heard that friggin' Mark Ruffalo kills it in that movie.
Mark Ruffalo is just ridiculous.
Who doesn't love a good Mark Ruffalo?
From what I heard, Mark Ruffalo's ass too. So come on.
There you go. That's the other reason to watch Fargo, because of John Hamm's ass.
You get to watch Mark Ruffalo fucking the shit out of what the fuck's her name?
Old Eyebrows McGee.
Yeah, why can't I remember her name?
Emma Stone.
Emma Stone, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I heard that she's awesome in that. But from what I heard from this movie, like I haven't seen it, but everybody's praising Mark.
Very Frankenstein.
Yeah, everybody's praising Mark Ruffalo's performance only because he always plays like how you doing? This nice guy.
And he plays a douchebag.
He plays a complete douchebag, and people are like, "Why aren't you doing movies like this? You're playing a douchebag." But
I like douchebag Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
Amelia was asking me today because she's working at the movie theater. They do theater checks.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, we go in at the beginning, and then we go in like 30 minutes later to check.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, and it's always, is the whole movie black and white? And I go, no. I was like, basically until she has that sexual awakening, it's black and white. And then when she starts fucking diddling the skittle, when she does little
talking to the man in the canoe.
Do I even have that anymore?
And he's into hip hop. He's got a hoodie on.
Oh God, I don't even have it anymore.
What?
I had the Soldier
How will you
Boy.
explain that?
Oh yeah.
But the premise, it's very Frankenstein because like this woman had killed herself, and then, God damn it, what the hell is his name?
William Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe's character finds her and cuts the baby out, but then cuts her brain out and then takes the baby's brain and puts it in her body and then reanimates the body. Like, it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she's like this baby child in an adult body and then goes out fucking everything that moves and's got 2 feet.
Yeah.
It was a fun movie.
Yeah, I've heard people praising it, like people that were going in going
I
like,
don't understand all the praise, but yeah.
yeah, but they're just like, people really like it, so I'm like,
Emma
okay.
Stone vagina, that's what they're praising it.
I mean, why not? And the Dick Boy Mark Ruffalo.
I think it's in here somewhere if you want to pull it out. The Dream Scenario
Yes.
with Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
I watched that thing. It was so good right up until the fucking end.
Ah, they dicked the end,
They fucking fucked up the end of that movie. It was just a really good movie right up until the last part.
Oh, I hate that. That's like that last movie I watched last week, that the one with Ethan Hawke. I was just like, that's it? That's the end? And like people on TikTok, I posted that thing and they were like, well, you gotta use up to your belly. Well, you need everything spoon-fed to you. I'll tell you in 2 seconds if I look up our tiki-taki. It was not the Iron Claw.
What the fuck was that ending?
Leave the world behind.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's fucking raving about that thing. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And Kate watched it and she's like, it was really good. And I was like,
It was good until the end. And then some guy on TikTok, I said, what the fuck was that ending? And I'm not going to spoil it, but like, you go to fucking, well, you need everything spoon-fed to you? I'm like, yeah, I do, actually. I don't like that shit
I don't
where
go
it's
to the
like,
movies to think.
yeah, I know, yeah, exactly. I'm not even that. It's just like the fact that they leave it up to the fucking audience. I'm like, fuck you. No, tell me what fucking happened.
Yeah.
Don't give me the fucking James Gandolfini looking over with turn to black. Don't.
You hear me?
He sells them a little bit. Shut the fuck up, June.
You hear?
But yeah, the ending of it, I was just like, what? Okay. Yeah. I mean, yes, I need my fucking pop culture spoon fed to me, all right?
Sometimes.
I'm a little bit of a fucking, you know. I like it a little bit open ended, but not that, where you're just like, okay. But anyway, moving on. So Dream Scenario with Nicolas Cage, that looked really good. That looked like a
Yeah, you watch the progression of it. He starts out like everybody's dreaming about him. He's just there.
Yeah.
Watching. And they're like, you know, one person's like, I'm getting killed, and you're just sitting there watching and not helping, and like, you know, he's like, oh. And then like all of a sudden he starts to meet people who are like, I had fucking crazy sex dreams where you fucking ravaged the shit out of me.
Wow.
And he's like, oh, really?
Oh.
And this one woman like is like, you know, this publicity, like pop culture, they want to create a thing with him. So one of the girls who works there is like talking about like she's all awkward because she's had these sex dreams about him, and then they wind up going back and she wants him to help reenact it. It's like, you're standing in there and I can't see you, you're in the shadows. It's like this whole thing.
Yeah.
So everybody goes from he just stands and like is fascinated with him to now everybody wants to fuck the shit out of him because they're having dreams about fucking him.
Wow.
And then their dreams turn into he's murdering the shit out of everybody. So he goes in like to rooms and like his job is like, we have to fire you because everybody's uncomfortable being around you. He's like, because you're dreaming about me killing you?
Yeah.
He's like, how does that make sense that I have to quit my job now because you're like...
He went from like famous to adored to scared, and yeah. Okay.
And then the ending, it just, I could...
Just...
Yeah, his wife leaves him, his kids don't want nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
Now I'm laughing at your notes because the next one you have is the Iron Fist.
Yeah.
It should be the Iron Claw.
The Iron Claw, yes.
Yes, everybody. Look at our little card. We have little card signs.
Oh, did I put it on the notes as the Iron Fist too? I did.
We don't talk about the Iron Fist. The Iron Fist was not good.
No. This on the other hand, the Iron Claw was fucking amazing.
Yeah, I'm anxious to watch it. I definitely want to go see it or catch it. But yeah, I did. I told you I did watch the Dark Side of the Ring episode about the Von Erichs.
I'm gonna watch that.
It's a good
this.
companion piece.
Well,
because...
after I finished watching this stupid movie I'm in the middle of watching.
Oh, okay.
It's called The Bank of Dave.
The Bank of Dave.
Yeah.
It sounded familiar, but
I don't know, it's on Netflix. It's this guy in England who wants to start a bank.
exciting.
It's not.
Just
it's more
just
of a
like your
love story.
review of Ferrari last week or last episode.
That was piece of shit too.
It's like, hey, I built a Ferrari. Good for you. Good for
Iron
you.
Claw was really, really good.
Yeah.
I know there's some discrepancies between what happens in real life, and even the one guy who's still alive, was it Keith?
I believe it was Keith.
He says, he's like, you got to realize it's a retelling. It's a story. It's a movie. It's entertainment.
Yeah.
There's certain things you can't fit everything in there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you feel like that, watch the documentary that Vice did on Dark Side of the Ring. It gives you step by step all the things that happened, and it was like it was really tragic. All the stuff that happened, but yeah, I mean, Zac Efron all jacked up, and the dude from The Bear and Shameless, he's all jacked up. It's just but yeah, I'm talking too much. It was tragically depressing too at points. Yeah,
it was frustrating. It was entertaining. It was frustrating. It was depressing, and I think that's one of the things they said. Like, they had to cut some shit out of there. Yeah, Justin, it is a rom-com.
Yeah.
They had to cut some of the things out, like the younger brother who died, who killed himself and stuff like that, because they're like, the director even said it was just too much misery, like too much depression, too much sadness for one movie.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's
amazingly done, amazingly acted. It was just I really highly suggested to non-wrestling fans even. Yeah,
people said you don't even have to be like, it's more of a story about family and a story about brothers and all that stuff where, a lot of and even in the doc they said stuff about like the father. It wasn't like he was like a Joe Jackson, like beating them and all that shit, or like fucking what's his name's dad, the typical father of famous people, where it's like he was a wrestler. He was a big famous wrestler in the 60s. Then his kids took it over. It was a family tradition. But, like, it wasn't like the father was pushing him. It was more of like they just all wanted daddy's approval.
And you know what? Watching it, I can see the influence of that story on the show.
Heels.
Heels.
Yes.
You could really see, like, where they pulled from their life story for Heels.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, which I'm still mad that they canceled that show.
Well, Bret Hart's dad ran the Dungeon.
Yes, yeah, that's a famous story. Bret Hart, that wrestler, his father was and he used to have what they called the Dungeon, where he would just bring kids down there and just fucking wrestle and beat the shit out of them and teach them how to wrestle. But it was basically like, it wasn't that. It was real to me, goddammit.
Look, at least they didn't rape them.
That's true. They can get a switch like Joe Jackson. Go out there and go get a switch and beat your ass with it.
I can fully give this a full 4.5 stars.
Wow, 4.5 pounds out of 5.
4.5 pounds out of 5. So.
Yeah, use the pals, man.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Next, for one fabulous pal, I'll give you Aquaman.
My baby.
My baby didn't die.
No dead baby.
Cheated. I wanted a dead baby.
You sent me that. You're like, I watched Aquaman. The fucking baby doesn't die. I'm like, what the fuck?
I didn't even stay for the post-credit scene. That's how fucking...
I heard the post-credit scene was just garbage. I mean, it's such a sad whimper for the DCEU.
Oh,
just
it
like,
is.
And everybody...
I put my quick review up on the Facebook, so if anybody wants to look at my quick... synopsis review. Got a lot
of traction on there, but yeah, it was. I didn't see it. Didn't see the first one.
Yeah,
didn't care.
I only went because I have that Regal pass.
Mm-hmm.
I got to get my $23 a month worth.
I mean, you got to take the bullet every once in a while. I'm glad you did take the bullet on that one
especially because it's not one of those movies that like I'm getting a screener of.
Yeah.
But
what are you gonna do, man? It's fucking Aquaman. It's done. It's over. I think the more I thought about it, we kind of, as an audience and fan base, screwed ourselves.
Yes.
Because we heard that James Gunn was going to do DCU, and everybody's like, what's going to be the DCU? And then once they announced that, then all of a sudden, all these movies came out: Flash, Shazam, Aquaman, Blue Beetle, and everybody's just like, why do I have to see these? It doesn't matter.
Because they already made them.
Yeah, and then now even James Gunn is back. Oh, well, Blue Beetle's part of the DCU. Well, then
you know what? Give me the fucking Batgirl movie, because that's something I really do want to see.
Sure. It'll come out.
I don't care how bad it is.
Well, because they took the tax write-off, they probably can't.
Right.
But, I'm still waiting for the air cut of Suicide Squad 2.
Oh, my God. Forget it.
Everybody's got a cut. Speaking of ridiculous director's cuts. They're your last one that's on
Rebel
there.
Moon. Now, I know Justin did not like Rebel Moon. I don't know why Justin didn't like Rebel Moon. I know why. You haven't watched it. You're waiting for the R-rated version.
Yeah, because it's one of those things with Zack Snyder where he puts out these movies, and I'm a fan of Zack Snyder movies.
Yeah.
I like some of the
Look,
but it
at
was
least when
like
you go into a Zack Snyder movie, you know what you're gonna get.
exactly, and you know the tone, the darkness, all that stuff. It's kind of like JJ with the lens flare, like you know what you're gonna get. But he does this all the time where he releases a movie and then he goes, "Oh wait, but fucking director's cut. Oh my god, it's so much better." Batman v Superman, his version of it, the director's cut of it was so much better. Justice League, they got rid of the Justice League and then they did the 4-hour epic, which was good, was better.
But for me, I said it was spoiled by I still had that bad taste of the original Justice League in my mouth.
Yeah.
Even though so much time had passed, it's like the second I hear Justice League, it's like,
Yeah, it's doesn't really matter at this point. But yeah, I mean, with this one, they're releasing this one, but now Zack Snyder is like talking about, the R-rated version of it is a completely different movie, and it's got all this and that. And I'm like, okay, so you want me to watch this PG-13 version of it? I understand you want to get more kids to watch it, even though it's on streaming and people are going to watch it anyway. And now you're going to release a longer, completely different R-rated version. I'm like, well, which one should I be following? I will give the PG-13 one a chance.
Look, it checks boxes. That's kind of what it does. Is it checks all the sci-fi fantasy boxes. Problem is, there's so many characters that, first off, they don't make me care about them. They tell me I'm supposed to care about them. And a lot of the way they tell me I'm supposed to care about them is in flashbacks of stuff they've done in the past. It's like, but I'm still not. I still don't care about this character. It's like, oh look, you just killed that fucking guy that was supposed to be like this big thing. You just killed him off, and okay, well I don't care.
Yeah,
and I don't even understand why he did what he did.
Yeah. And I mean, I do like Justin's saying, learn how to successfully shine turds. I made 2 diamonds of it. Watchmen and 3. Yeah, Watchmen. To this day, I love fucking, and that's another one. Director's cut of Watchmen, awesome.
Yep.
Why did I have to bother with the other one?
Is there a director's cut of 300?
Probably there has to be.
Huh.
But yeah, all his movies he just releases different ones, and you're like, okay. So I kept looking, like when I pulled up Netflix, the one movie that I watched that we'll talk about was Netflix, because originally I went on Netflix. I was like, all right, I should probably watch this Rebel Moon movie. To stay in the know. And I ended up looking at something else, which was...
Really quick, I think it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be because there was so much hype built up around it, and it was like an event. I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
That's the problem, is like I'm waiting for this to come out, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to go watch it. Oh, sorry about that.
Well, no, they were also talking, too, about how this was his original pitch for a Star Wars movie.
Right.
And they didn't go with it. So it was, it's going to make my own on Netflix, And you're like, okay. So it's Star Wars adjacent kind of. Could you get the Star?
I could see how it could be kind of like in that Star Wars universe.
Mm-hmm.
But even when he pitched it, I don't think it was part of like the main Star Wars timeline that we all know.
No,
it was kind of like you said, a Star Wars adjacent story.
Yeah, it was just because nowadays with Star Wars, everybody's looking for new characters. This was his idea of like another part of the universe or whatever, the galaxy. So
he just doesn't do a good job of explaining why I'm supposed to feel a certain way about certain things and why things are the way they are. Now, maybe I'll get more explanation in the second one, but I didn't really give a shit enough about this movie at the end of it to be like, oh, that character, I can't wait to see what happens to them.
Now, these Zack Snyder movies like Rebel Moon and even some of the DCEU stuff, does he write them as well, or does he just direct them?
I think he writes them.
Because it seems like, visually his movies are cool, it seems like, and you get that same style. Would he be better if he just had better writers? Like, he doesn't have to...
yeah, maybe. Maybe he would be.
I don't know, but Army of the Dead I liked. That was fun.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for every really good movie, he's got like 3 or 4 turds.
Yeah,
look at all the fucking Sin City movies.
Yeah, I mean, so you got to give him a pass. I mean, he's got a rabid fan base.
Director, writer.
Yeah.
What was cool in that movie, I will say, in this movie is if you look at the guy who plays Gunner, who
Okay.
is Michael Heisman, and the guy who plays the bad guy, what the fuck is his name?
Blood X. Like, even the names of these people just seem so generic.
Yeah.
Like
But
Cassius.
anyway, the other guy. So the one guy was on Game of Thrones,
Okay.
and he played this specific character, and he made it to the one season, and then left to go do something else. So they replaced him with this guy, Michael Heisman, and both of them are in this movie with each other.
Oh, Jesus.
It's very funny.
Oh,
Little
Zachy.
fun fact for your fun fact fanny pack.
Oh, delicious. Yes.
Yeah, Justin says it. I'm sorry. The rest was stolen ideas from every single sci-fi fantasy movie we've ever seen. That's what I mean by it checks boxes.
Yeah.
Every science fiction, fantasy, the magical creatures, this thing, the
Yeah.
cyborgs and prophecy and soldier robots and every sci-fi trope you want, it checks the fucking box.
Yeah, I mean, I'll see it for myself just because, I have an interest in it. But I almost was just like, he keeps talking the R-rated version. I'm like, I'm just going to wait for that, Or because you end up with his movies, you watch it, and then he hypes the other one up. So you watch it. And like you said, you had a bad taste in your mouth with Justice League. It's like the same thing. It's like, well, all right, this one's better. But like, why did you make me waste fucking 2.5 hours watching this one when it doesn't, like we talked about DCEU. You announced it, that he's taken over, and then basically the fan base was like, you got to tell us what's going on. You got to tell us the movies, the slate. So now he has the slate, and then all these movies that were made for 2023 were like, I don't care. I loved Blue Beetle. I liked Shazam. I thought Shazam was good. Never see it again, but not really a rewatchable one.
Not for me either.
And Flash was mid at best.
Justin liked them, but not for me. I'm just.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? But
you watched a fun flick.
Yes, I did. Like I said, I was going on to Netflix, and I was going to watch Rebel Moon, and then I started flipping through, and I said, "Don't worry, I got the thing here." But
Hell Camp.
Yes, I couldn't remember the name of the documentary movie. It was on that, so I was like, Hell Camp. Oh, that looks interesting. And then I looked at Manal. I said, you pick Rebel Moon or Hell Camp. She's like, fucking Hell Camp. I'm like, all right, let's go for it. It's a documentary based on this one guy, Steve Carlisio. They just had him. Cardisano. Now, this started in the 80s, and apparently it's still going on today in different ones. But it was a documentary about this guy who wanted to help kids, troubled teens, because teens are bad. So he devised this program, this if you're gay, you go here and we'll fucking straighten you out. It was like one of those where it was like,
pray the gay away.
Yeah, this is more of like, so it opens up with like, apparently Paris Hilton went to one of these things, I guess, back in the day. Only because you find out that it cost the parents a ridiculous amount of money. So like it starts off with this one girl that says she was a bad kid. She was, the typical teen stuff where it's she's drinking, she's doing weed, she's fucking all kinds of doing shit. And she says in the middle of the night, 2 big fucking gorilla guys come in, grab me out of my bed in the middle of the night, and ship me off to this freaking camp in Utah.
Oh, God.
And this is supposed to straighten out the bad kids. It's like the scared straight thing where you go into, but they take him in the middle of the night. They don't know what's going on. The parents pay for this. They were paying her. She said that her parents paid like $15,000-$20,000 to send this kid. That's one kid, and they had over like 700 kids going to these programs because these rich people were like, I don't know what to do with my Trevor.
I don't want to parent my kid.
Yeah,
nowadays they just get a nanny.
Yeah, they just send them off to this fucking camp. Where one of the guys who was running it, there was the Michael guy who was the creator of it, and then he was in the Air Force with this other guy called Horsehair.
Horsehair.
I was like, what? I kept calling him Asshair the whole movie because I'm just like, dude. And he was just being like, what? We were just being tough on these kids. It's like, you're fucking torturing them. They're sending him out. Basically, there he is with his fucking tooth necklace. They send them out to the middle of the Utah desert. It's like 115 degrees. They just give them like rations here and there. They have to earn water. They have to earn all this stuff, basically in the clothes that they showed up in. and they're going on these hikes, these ridiculous hikes, and that, you know, apparently straighten these kids out, and like they were malnourished, they were dirty, they were freaking, one of the kids died.
Jeez.
You know, from heat exhaustion. So, you know, once they got word of that, they were like, once the kid died, the parents took him out, and they ran criminal charges for him of like, you know, murder, basically. And he got acquitted.
Jesus.
He got acquitted. For some reason, they acquitted. So, like, he couldn't, like, basically his name was blacklisted. So he decided to do these camps in, like, all different places. Like, he went down to Samoa, and he gets a huge boat.
Samoa or American Samoa?
It's Samoa, not American. I did check because I remember we saw that movie. So he just changes the name, goes to, like, a different area, like they went in Samoa, and they changed it from, like, you know, Camp Wilderness to, like, Camp, you know, Super
Camp
Promises
Samoa.
or something like that. And these fucking parents are sending these kids down, and they would go through now they're going through the jungle. They're, like, covered in bug bites.
Ugh.
They're malnourished. This one girl is like, yeah, I got punished, so she wouldn't get up to go do certain things. She was like, I fucking had it, dude. I'm not doing this anymore. So, and what they did was the kids that were doing better became counselors.
Oh, boy.
Now, none of these counselors, even fucking ass hair, none of them were licensed, like, counselors. They were just, you know, older kids. So it was like Lord of the Flies there. Like,
Nice.
the girl wouldn't get up, so they said to hog tie her. So they hog tied this girl, and they just started pouring buckets of water, like basically waterboarding her. And, you know, she was fucking, all the people that came out of these things, they're totally fucking shocked. One of them got raped by, like, one of the fucking leaders of the thing. And then
Always a pedophile in one of these things.
oh,
Always.
I mean, you're dragging a bunch of fucking bad kids to a island somewhere. It's you know, you might as well call it Epstein cruise. You know, like, fucking, it's ridiculous.
Welcome to Epstein Island.
Yeah, and the thing was crazy is that they would the authorities would get wind of this guy, and they'd be like, oh my God. And when the authorities went to ship, they had this huge boat. They're like, come on, kids, get on the boat. And then they would go to another island and do it over there. And then another island and do it over there. And in the beginning, the Utah one it was only supposed to be like 60 days. You know, like 60 days, do this rehabilitation program. And, you know, and some kids did come out of it like, look, I was a piece of shit. They scared me straight. Now I love my mom and dad and everything's great. But you know, near the end, it was just, you know, there was the sexual abuse. One girl in there, like in the beginning of the doc, she was acting like, no, it was great. And then later on in the doc, she was like, well, I became one of the super, and then the Michael guy who ran this whole thing sexually abused her.
Jesus.
And the kids, Michael's kids, they ended up being drug addicts and stuff. So, like, he sent his own son to one of these camps. And then the other girl she got hooked up in drugs, and it was so sad.
Most of them came out worse than they went in.
Exactly. And they said in the beginning it was like 60 days. By the time they got to, like, Samoa and the Congo and all that shit, there were kids there. They were, like, emaciated and all bug bitten, and they were like, so how long have you been in this program? He's like, not like 7 months. Like, they basically
60 days.
Yeah, they held these kids until they felt they deemed right. You know, and they sent them back. But, like, and the thing that hurt me, well, like, that kind of shocked me the most was the one girl in the beginning. She's like, I don't know who I'm more mad of, these people that did this horrible shit to me, or my fucking parents who sent me there. Because they did show the brochures that they sent out to these parents, and it looked like fucking Club Med. Like, it looked like, oh, kid's gonna have a wonderful family, you know, Peter Pan adventure. No, fucking eating bugs and, you know, gang raped and all kinds of good stuff. So yeah, it's a humdinger. I highly recommend watching the old Hell Camp if you're into that stuff. And I was like, maybe I should just send this to my daughters and say, hey, you know,
Straighten up and fly right.
Actually, I couldn't afford it. It was like fucking 30 grand. By the end, they were like, yeah. And I guess Paris Hilton was involved in it. They show her for like 2 seconds in a clip, and they don't say which one she went to, but apparently at the end they keep saying that
She went to
there's
one of these camps.
yeah, and there's still like even somebody from TikTok who mentioned it. He was like, "Oh my god, I went to the one in Utah." I was like, "Shit, can we get this guy on the phone?"
Oh yeah.
He was like, he went to something similar of it, but yeah, man, it's if you love a good net docs, a little Netflix docaroo, that's the one to go with. So,
Well,
yeah,
I don't. You know what? Let's wait to talk about What If until after you've watched them all.
yeah. I mean, I got to the Pocahontas one. I keep calling it Pocahontas one, and I do want to watch the rest of them, but so far, I like it. I love the What If comics. I had them when I was a kid.
I will say the first 4, like maybe 4 or 5, were just kind of like,
Yeah.
The last like 4 or 5 are really good.
Yeah, I want to get through them because I did skip to some. Like I was looking at the chapters because I didn't realize they were putting on new ones every day,
Yeah.
and I thought it was going to be a once a week thing. So I watched the first. At first, I was like, "Oh, they put out 2," so I watched the first 2. And I was like, "All right, cool. I'll watch the next one next week." And then I'm watching on YouTube. It's like episode 4, episode 5, episode 6. I'm like, "Wait, they're fucking every day." So
You know
I tried
what?
to watch
If you had
through it.
listened to the Hey Pal What's New podcast, we talked about the fact that they're going to release one a day.
Oh, fucking, I don't listen to this shit.
And just like, what is it, January 4th or something like that? Is it January 4th, that Walter's birthday? That they're releasing all of the Echo episodes at once.
Yes, that I know is coming up. I'm excited for that. Marvel needs a win, man. Marvel needs some serious wins.
They need something.
I think
They
Echo.
need a nice rim job.
They certainly do. I mean, who doesn't love a good rim job?
I'd love to find out.
Yeah. So we will give you next week's episode. We will. I promise. I will watch the rest of What If, and we will recap the end of it.
I will say I watched Percy Jackson on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
It was so good.
I
read the
heard-
books and shit with my kids, and
It's one of those Harry Potter kind of things where it's. I didn't get into it, but from what I've heard, it was really good, like that and the One
he's
Piece
the son
and stuff.
of Poseidon.
Mm-hmm.
He's like the Hercules of Poseidon.
My baby,
My baby.
my Percy.
and he's got to go on a quest.
Yeah. It's
there's
fun.
a lot more to it than that. I don't want to get into it. If you know Percy Jackson, just know if you've read the Percy Jackson books, if you like the movies, you'll like this because this is way better than the movies were.
I heard it's very good adaptation.
Yes,
of that,
a very good adaptation.
Good. Yeah, and then as far as TV, really, just really, What If, and I think I still have to catch up on Fargo. I think I'm like,
Oh, Fango.
oh boy, I think we'll do like a once it's done, we'll do kind of like a recap of the whole thing. I will say, spoiler with the not really a spoiler, but John Hamm, I did find out. I was watching one of those, behind the scenes kind of things about it. They show like a quick thing. The nipple piercings are fake.
How will you explain that?
Exactly. I was so upset. I was like, yo, I mean, who ordered the ham? He was delicious with those freaking nipple rings. And I'm like, and they show him putting on the fucking thing.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But,
Well, this week's episode, oh, fuck.
oh, yeah. Good times.
Yes, yeah, the way it ends, you'll see.
Now, is it the finale?
No, it can't be the finale.
Okay. So we still got more to go on the Fargo.
There's more to go on Fargo.
Yeah, more to go on the Fargo. I might watch, like I said, I might go back to the other seasons because I missed. I watched 1, and this is 5.
Okay.
So I missed 2, 3, and 4. 2, I did watch a little bit of it, and then I just fell off of it. But yeah, I mean, my goal for
Watch them all.
2024, besides getting fucking swelt and swole, is being more.
Maybe that's
watching
one of the
more
things we
this
can
stuff.
add to the podcast.
What's that?
Each week we come into the podcast, we weigh in.
Don't do that to me. Actually, I don't care. I documented my whole first album was like me going from 300 pounds to 220.
Holding ourselves accountable, like, hey, this week this is my weight.
Yeah, I'll do it. I don't give a shit. Can I strip naked when I do it?
Oh, no, you don't have to. Just, come in. What's your weight this week?
Okay,
We'll
all
just
right,
do that.
we'll do it. And we gotta share.
Next week's episode, we'll start off with our very first weight. What was our weight
Yeah.
to start at?
Okay, all right, deal. And then we're gonna get swole.
It's such a gimmick, but I feel like it'll make me. Oh my god, I got to go on live and see what my weight. How many episodes before we give up?
Yeah. How long will the keto go?
No keto for me.
Nah, I just like it lean and green. Basically, the way I lost weight the first time, just stop eating shit
Yeah.
and exercise. That's all you need to do. I mean, because I do have a fucking treadmill in my house, you know, and a bike, and I work at home, so there's no excuse.
No.
So, time to get swole. That's the new
Bring
one.
the laptop to the treadmill.
Yep,
One of those standing desks.
And just catch up on all these freaking movies. I've been watching all the 2023, and it's like all these movies they're talking about. I'm like, haven't seen it. I haven't seen Oppenheimer. Haven't seen fucking
the laptop your job gives you doesn't have a DVD player in it.
I don't know. No.
Okay.
Nothing is
Wow.
DVD anyway. But we'll figure it out. But anyway, so I think that just leaves us with just a little bit of that.
Tits.
Yeah, boobies indeed, everybody. So we're gonna keep it short on the music newsaroo. There really wasn't that much out. A few things that came out. My boy JohnAlex over here added a few songs from some bands that I didn't know about. We'll start it off with just because they released an album, a single on Christmas Day. Deicide. I mean, come on, Deicide.
Now look, is that on the Hey Pal What's New 2023 playlist? Because there's going to be a whole new playlist for a whole new year.
That's right. Yeah, it's last one on there. So yeah, bury the.
Oh, this is a great Christmas song.
Yeah, I mean, bury the cross with your Christ.
Okay.
Deicide, they're a humdinger. If you're into the death, I mean, look, I'm wearing my Cannibal Corpse shirt. I'm very specific on my death metal. These guys are good. I mean, they've been around forever. Glenn is the guy who burned the upside down cross in his forehead, and he's still got it to this day. So, not really a hit with the Christian community, but hey, what are you gonna do? Other than that, really, I'll let you talk about. I mean, there was one other band that I don't know, I'm late to the party with, and it was a really interesting thing because I'm looking through, the Discover and the What's New stuff, and I'm like, I don't really see anything. And then I for some reason, maybe I was flipping through TikTok or something. I saw this thing with, God, now I can't even think of his name. It was an actor. Matt Damon. Thank you. Matt Damon was talking. Somebody asked him, like, what kind of music you're listening to? And he was talking. He's like, I'm really into this band Inhaler. And I'm like, what the fuck, Inhaler? I don't really get it. So I looked them up, and they're a band. Let me just pull them up on the artist thing here. I just put my sound off because I didn't want to freaking do all that stuff. But here they are. Come on, get some singing going here. They're from Ireland.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, kind of very U2-ish, I think. Kind of like that early 90s kind of stuff. And I was like, wow, these guys are really good. And they have an album that called Cuts and Bruises that came out in February. That was their most recent one. And I'm like, man, these guys are really good. So I did put one of their songs on there just because I was like, I want to remember this band. Yeah, and really that was the only two that I had that I saw. You had
Royal Blood has a new one.
Yes, Supermodel.
If you like Royal Blood, it's very Royal Blood.
Yes, you can't go wrong with a little Royal Blood.
Was it you or me who put the General on there? The new Guns N' Roses.
You put the General on there. Oh yeah.
Sorry.
The new Guns N' Roses stuff. It's pretty. Now, I'm one of those guys who defends Chinese democracy. There's some great songs on that album.
Okay.
But they've been cutting out singles. And they had that one Absurd that was funny. It was wasn't funny, but it was just like, I was like, all right, this is cool. I can get into it. And then they had this other one, Old School. And they've been putting out singles, and I'm like, haven't really been impressed by any of their stuff. It just,
I can't.
I mean, look, I saw them a few years ago with the lineup that they have now with Duff and Slash. They were awesome. Just new stuff, man. I wasn't really getting into.
Well, on my release radar, because I guess it's adjacent related.
Yeah,
was a new song by, and I feel like I know this band, the Veronicas.
And they have a new song called Detox.
Okay.
Great song. I mean, it's a girl band. I didn't realize they've been around for, let's see, Australian alt-pop icons, the Veronicas, have an 18-year chart-topping musical track record.
Wow, and they have 1.8 million listeners on Spotify. So.
Yeah, this is the song I always go, you know this song.
Sounds familiar.
Like, that's the song that's, like, their most popular song.
Okay.
But this new song's really good. I feel like I should know them, and I don't. And I feel bad for that, but...
I'll definitely check them out.
Yeah, check them out.
Yeah, I mean, I like female-fronted bands and stuff like that, so it's not like...
Well, after that and all the Boy Genius and all the...
Girls are getting it done.
Hoity-toity that I've been listening to.
Oh, yeah.
They start suggesting things, and I just got, like, this whole string of, like, because you like hoity-toity, you know, queer rock. And it's, like, all this gay and lesbian music, and I was like,
Spotify thinks I'm a 15-year-old lesbian. I don't understand.
I made a comment today, not to go too far off track really quick here. Remember Josh Estrin?
Yes.
So Josh lives, I think, in California. He's married. I don't know who his husband is.
Yeah, well, I follow him on TikTok, I think. Yeah.
Did you see his latest TikTok where he's like, people are giving me shit for not being gay enough? I just paused it. I didn't even go any. I think he was good. People giving him shit about not being, like, militantly gay. He's like, I'm a man who's married to a man. I'm gay. And I put a comment from us like, Josh, you're the gayest man I know.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question, you know.
No. There's never been a question with Josh.
No.
So I'm getting all this like queer playlist because I'm listening to like all these, you know, gay, I guess, LGBTQ whatever music. It's just like, hey, you might like this. Slow down. I'm not a teenage lesbian, all right? Even if I've got my sweatshirt. For those of you who can't see, this is my Christmas present. I can't make the camera come down. It's my sweatshirt that says, everyone knows I love lesbians.
I mean, of course. Yeah, it always reminds me of that King of Queens episode where Patton Oswalt's character gets a TiVo.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he's like, TiVo thinks I'm gay. Because they keep suggesting all, like, you know, queer eye for the straight guy and all this stuff to him. He's like, wait, I don't. He gets all upset because he thinks
Justin is 5'9" and 300 pounds. Let's go.
Nice. All right, do it, buddy. You want to come on? You want to go on the?
There you go. He's 300 pounds, 5'9". We should start a. Wait, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
Your job.
Okay.
Spreadsheet.
Okay.
I love about the spreadsheet.
I love
a good spreadsheet.
I do. I'm an Excel whore.
Spreadsheet of what our weights are, keeping track of that, and percentage lost.
Okay.
So when Justin loses, 30 pounds, he's lost 10%. We need to know percents.
Okay. I'm down
I always
with
hate
that.
these shows where like, we're going to do a weight loss contest. And it's like, dude, that guy's 500 pounds. He's going to lose 100 pounds in a week. Like, stop.
Yeah, remember
he's
the
gonna win the contest there? I won a contest at work with that, with the secretaries. Like, you want to get in on? I was like, sure. I'm like, I'm 300 pounds, man.
Yeah.
I lost like 65 pounds over the Thursday. They lost like 20. Like, John won.
Yeah. Hey, man. It's
like,
definitely.
5%.
Yeah, I can stop eating fucking Doritos and I'd lose 10 pounds in like a week.
Get a colonoscopy. You'll lose 10 pounds.
I know. That's the thing. How long is this challenge going for? Because, March.
What, March?
Yeah.
No, March is your appointment for meeting with the doctor beforehand, right?
Yeah, well, it's that, and then they schedule it like a week after or something like that. It's not a far. They said it's not a far window.
That's fine.
So maybe I'll get the March advantage.
That's right.
But anyway, yeah, that's it for the music news. You don't even have to play the news. I think we're done. I think we're done. How long we going? Yeah, we're an hour and 11 minutes. It's good stuff. We missed each other. That's why we decided we couldn't wait another week.
I could have fucked 20 times in that time.
I know. In a row.
In a row. In a row?
The old Jay Moore thing. I fucked her for 30 seconds in a row. Yeah, man. Yeah, so we couldn't wait till New Year. So we hope everybody here has a happy New Year. 2024, it's when we're getting it done, man.
Look for our 2024 Hey Pal What's New playlist.
Yup. We're going to have some of that. We got the Patreon going. More content on that after the New Year. Greg's got a ton of music he's going to start working on, so it's going to be good, man. It's good. I have a feeling. I'm not one of those dicks that's always like, new year, new me. But I think this year, just new one coming up. 2023 was a little bit rough, but now at the end of it is fucking awesome. So 2024, it's got to be better. So I feel like I say that every year, but I have a good feeling about this next one.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you who's fucking awesome.
Who's that?
My wife. She's fucking awesome. And I'm awesome.